Who's heard of the marketing tripod? Has anyone heard of that? So this is a concept I learned from Eric Huberman. He's one of the biggest agencies in the entire North America. He owns an agency called Hawk Media. And he basically describes your marketing system as a tripod, right? So a tripod, perfect example, right behind here. What does a tripod have? It has a camera at the top, right? The camera at the top is your company or your product or your offer, okay? And then on the left, right, this tripod right here, this leg has 3 legs. Then you have the camera, right? This thing, this is a camera, let's just say that, okay? And then this is your company or offer, right? Over here, this is what we call awareness, right? So let me just write it like this. Awareness. So what you're saying you had a bunch of awareness that just got deployed into your business. A bunch more people just became aware of what you had to offer, right? But what's missing now is, well, what's not missing is where this goes wrong is when people, for example, in our business as well, when you run ads, what are you doing? You're generating more awareness, right? But a tripod, that's only one leg. In the middle now, you have the next part of the tripod, which is what he calls nurturing, right? So I'll break this down in a second and what this looks like in terms of stages, but obviously you can bring awareness, but if you don't nurture that awareness, AKA you don't nurture the leads, they're never gonna do what the next piece is, which is obviously trust, right? Without one of these 3 legs, what happens?
Falls.
The tripod falls, the camera breaks, and then this whole mastermind goes to shit, right? So what people don't understand, and this is where, to answer your question, it's a little bit more complicated, but you can condense the lead to purchase window down, because now you know what it is, 3.5 months. Now the question becomes, how can we deploy a ton more sales assets in this nurturing phase to build more trust so that they can then buy? Because if you don't have one of these 3, they're never gonna buy, right? So when you run ads, you get more leads. Those leads go through your sales funnel, which nurtures them, teaches them about your product, your service, your company, your story, and then it generates a little bit of trust. But then what this is case studies, social proof, testimonials, third-party reviews, Trustpilot, right? That's where the trust comes in. And then what happens is, right, when you don't have these sales assets to do that and bring the trust, then they're never gonna get nurtured fast enough, and they're never gonna buy, they're just gonna stay in this awareness stage. And so the question becomes, how do you condense the lead to purchase window? Well, first you have to measure it. So you know what your lead to purchase window is, right? But most businesses don't. So if you have, well, everyone here has a business, you have to think about, okay, how long does it take me to get a lead to go from a high ticket buyer, right? So for us in our business, according to HubSpot, and again, this could be skewed as well, but it's about 120 days. It's about 3 to 4 months basically, right? So, okay, if I know that on average it takes about 120 days for someone to go from a lead, whether it's ads or whether it's organic free school group or whether it's YouTube channel, whatever traffic source, then in 120 days from now they'll become a buyer. Well, then what should I work on, right? I should work on nurturing them faster and building more trust. And so the answer is you basically just have to create more sales assets. And so one way you can do that is, yes, you can do a free school group, or you can do a free school community one way, right? That's 100% an easy thing to do. But they're not going to be able to just buy the high ticket thing until they actually get value, like what you said, Justin, earlier about your course and how it's not structured to even be the high ticket thing. If they're not solving the problem from this first thing, and then you're showing them, oh, the next problem they have to solve is from this high ticket thing, and that's how you solve it, it's just not gonna make sense, it's not congruent, right? But it doesn't also have to be. So for trading, you said there's nuances, right? Maybe your free content gives them everything they need, right? But of course, they just need someone to help them because they're too scared to do it on their own. Maybe that's when they join your free school community to get more insights, right? But then they join the high paid thing because they've gotten value from your free school community or whatever the low ticket thing is. Let's say it's low ticket, right? But they only join the high ticket because now they want to be a part of your community. So maybe you might be selling it different. Maybe they want to be a part of the community where they're also getting the benefit of learning and being more connected to people just like you, right? So the next thing you can tell them in the low ticket is, okay, cool, this is great, you're getting the results. But the thing that you're going to get to the next level is in your trading career is being around people just like you, getting to participate in a one-on-one with me or go in events like these. Because similar to trading, I heard Cole Gordon say this, and again, you can ask him this tomorrow, but like there was this girl asking him, hey, I teach freelancers how to make their first 10K a month. And the problem I'm having is I want to launch a mastermind, but they're not seeing the congruency. Some people just want to stay at 10K a month. They don't want to go to 30K, 50K, 100K. They got the result and they're like, I kind of want to chill. So how do I sell a mastermind? And he's like, well, we're not going to sell them on 30K, 50K, 100K. You're going to sell them on, here's how to work with me closer. Here's how to spend more time with me in person. Or here's how to be able to get access to a community and these in-person events to grow, your actual, or experience these different things. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, 100%.
So long story short, going back to the marketing tripod, right? This makes it so clear about why people don't look at it as a system and how you can start looking at it as a system, because whether it's organic YouTube, whether it's paid YouTube ads, or whether it's LinkedIn traffic, doesn't matter what traffic source you use, it's just all awareness. More people getting to know your brand, your product, and your service. But then what most people do, so this is like, let's say traffic, right? This is the easiest way to describe it. Traffic. This right here is your sales funnel. And now email marketing. Sales funnel, email marketing, and then of course, more content. YouTube, Facebook content, whatever. Sales funnel, email marketing content. And this is case studies, social proof, testimonials. And so without one of these three things, you're just not going to be able to nurture people fast enough, build like and know and trust fast enough. And so the more sales assets you can give them within the number you now have, then you can challenge your team, Julian, when he's here, say, how can we get 3.5 months down to 3 months? Then 3 months down to 90 days.
Right.
It's 3 months. 3 months down to 60 days, 30 days, if it's even going to be realistic. But then you can start working on it. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, 100%. So I have 2 questions. Number one, what do you think about instead of a free school community, like for nurturing, like what like a $7 or like?
I like the paid idea more because I have experience with the free group, and I can tell you we're going to switch to a low ticket community. The reason why is because when I was working for my former mentor, Dean, who, again, he started low ticket, he was only selling low ticket on the front end with YouTube ads. So I spent over close to about $10 million with his businesses, but the main offer that made him the most money overall was a free plus shipping book offer, $7, impulse buy. But the reason why is because it was such a mass market offer. It was called Millionaire Success Habits. Everybody wants to become a millionaire, right? So they're going to buy this book for $7, impulse buy. And then he has OTOs and different upsells and downsells. But then he teaches them that the next step, okay, cool, now you have the mindset of the habits to become a millionaire. The next thing you need is you need the vehicle to actually make money. The vehicles, and what he was selling was wholesaling, right? I'm gonna teach you a free webinar. It's gonna show you how to become, rich in real estate, right? And then the mechanism was using wholesaling. So that's what goes into the $997, or it was I think $1,997 mid-ticket webinar, evergreen. But then they get sold after that into workshops and actual events to actually do wholesaling live, get your first deal in person. So you don't have to do it on your own. And so going back to the question of the free versus paid, personally, I think the content that you're already putting out is already free and good enough to where then the next thing you should feed them to is a low ticket sort of community. So they can get a taste of what it's like when they go to the high ticket. That's just a preview or a little bit of an experience there.
I like that a lot. Now the other question that I had was, in terms of nurturing the content, what do you think about, you could do this with either people that are just booked the call or people that are newer to your audience. What do you think about just taking high-performing short-form content, no CTA, no real goal of anything except nurturing, and just absolutely bombarding people with that for a couple days? It's something I learned at Jeremy's master.
Yeah. Isn't he doing that right now called the Tornado? Yeah. See, the problem you're going to have is ads, again, are just traffic. They're more people. But the problem is you're going to be able to make money quickly because we're going to show you exactly what audiences to use to just get your low-hanging fruit. What's the least effort? People that already know, like, and trust you. YouTube audience, remarketing lists, subscribers, video viewers, channel playlist adders, liked any video viewers. All those people, that'll get you, ROAS of 3 to 5x pretty quickly if your sales team's dialed in, right? Which it sounds like they are. But then going beyond that you're gonna have to go more broad, push more traffic, and these people are gonna be your typical sales cycle, right? 3.5 months before they actually buy from you on the high ticket side. So for Facebook and Instagram, it's a lot easier to retarget them and just shove content down their throat. Like I think he calls it the tornado, right?
Yeah.
For sure you should do that. How I would do it on YouTube is what I'm doing right now for our email marketing specifically is all of our, like after someone opts into our VSL, for example, every single email I'm rewriting to be able to just push them to my YouTube content, push them to a YouTube video. Because what I realize is like, okay, yes, you can push them to the VSL for sure, but after the first 2 or 3 emails, like they're probably just not gonna watch it, or it's not interesting enough for them.
And then they're nurturing, you're supposed to nurture them anyway. That's
Yeah, and then if I push them to a YouTube video, they'll be reminded about the offer anyways. They'll be reminded about the link where they could book a call on their own, and they're still in my pipeline so I can keep sending them emails for moving forward. But the whole point is to just build more trust fast by actually sending them the videos that are actually gonna help add value to them so they can actually buy from me sooner.